About a year ago, I marathoned Daria for the first time and even watched the movie, and it was a great show. It was so nice seeing a nice slice of life, down to earth show with some exaggerated moments for comedy. There are some problems with the show, though. It's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. First of all, the show is outdated. It came out during a time period where everybody promoted going to college. Like, oh, if you don't go to college or university, you're going to end up being a drug addict. You're going to end up being homeless on the streets. You're going to end up being blah, 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 blah. You got to go to college. You got to go to college. And yeah, that was very outdated because nowadays, going to college or university, you're going to get yourself into severe crippling debt. And worst of all, a lot of colleges offer useless degrees, and many college students don't even get the job that they got a degree for. Many college students live in poor conditions, and they work minimum wage slave jobs. And like for me personally, I feel like the only reason you should go to college is if you're going into the medical or legal field. Anything else, just go to trade school. You don't need to go to college for art. Like you can easily find some art tutorials online, especially YouTube, or you can just paint or make art yourself. You don't need to invest like 40, 60 thousand dollars into art school. That's stupid. That's retarded. Don't do that. You can easily just go to Walmart, buy some pen and paint or whatever you want to use for a few $20, maybe $100 at most, and just do art with that. You don't need a degree for art, is what I'm saying. And there's other pointless, stupid degrees as well in college. The only people who I definitely think should go to college are people with military benefits, because in the USA, you can pretty much get paid to go to school and get a degree, so that's extra money. But like I said, the other people who should go to college are people who want to go in the medical field or legal field. Another thing about Daria that's outdated, though, is you know, like everybody lives in a house during this time, and the fact that Daria has two loving parents, and she acts so nonchalant. And, sometimes there are just moments where I'm like, "Dang, Daria, you sure are ungrateful." Like it's not like you're living in a third world country. I get that though, because she is at the end of the day 16, 17, turning 18. And a lot of Americans are like that, especially the ones that are smart. But man, there was just some moments where I was like, dang, Daria, be a little bit more grateful. But overall, I get it, though. That's part of her character, and she grows as the show goes on, yada, yada, yada. But the one thing I can't stand about Daria are the fans. Like, oh my gosh, man. The fans really give me strong Reddit vibes, strong self-diagnosis vibes. Like, oh, I watch Daria, I relate to this character, now I have autism, I have a super high IQ. Like, Daria was basically the BoJack Horseman before BoJack Horseman came out, or the Rick and Morty before Rick and Morty came out, because just like Rick and Morty and BoJack Horseman, Daria has a very obnoxious fan base that I don't want to deal with. Like, anytime I go to a Daria video, I rarely ever actually interact with the comments section. I'll leave a comment, but I'm not going to talk to any of the fans, because again, a lot of these people, they act like they're psychologists or something, and I'm like, calm down. You just watched a 90s comedy sitcom. It's not that deep, and especially it's outdated too. And this is really personal too, but I can't really relate to Daria. I mean, I can relate to her being an introvert and liking books and stuff, but her life is still very privileged. Honestly, I think, The Simpsons, early Simpsons, even though it was satirical, still felt more like an honest portrayal of the American family. Or As Told by Ginger, that's another show that's pretty down to earth. I feel like that better represents, the middle class than Daria does. I mean, maybe if Daria's parents were going through like a divorce or something. It's kind of like how BoJack Horseman has a lot of sad moments, but I can't really feel full sympathy for BoJack because he is a well-off millionaire, at least until the final season.